Maybe if I got into the bar tonight and switched drinks.
Yes, that's the closest you'll get to an exchange of fluids. Come on, we got a lot to get through today. Oh, I don't think you've met my fiancé, Crispin. He's got 2 penises and his own airline. Or the other one, I whisper I love you in her ear. She attacks me with a fire extinguisher. No, thank you. I can do without that kind of humiliation.
Oh, dispose of it, will you please? Not down the toilet! Take it to the bottom of the garden and kill it with a spade!
Kill it with a spade? What am I, Jack the Hat McVitie?
Got your variable height and tilt. Individual foot support and lift.
Yeah. Reminds me of the gynecology ride at Disneyland. Look, can I ask, do you ever get this thing serviced? How anyone could drive a car at this time of year without a proper windscreen washer?
It's got a windscreen washer!
Yeah, but it's not much use on the back seat, is it? Can we move it, please? We'll have to chip us out of here with ice picks.
Now, Jonathan, before you say a word...
This is it now, is it? Through the swirling fog of Victorian London, a young girl is slashed to ribbons by Toad of Toad Hall. What kind of cretins have you got on the payroll here? But you're not going to give him the key? You're not serious? You know what? This is bordering on date rape. Before you touch anything, I demand to see your fingernails.
Look, all right. It's bad enough I get home to the 7 plagues of Egypt without you giving me a hard time. I just thought maybe I could be useful here tonight, that's all.
What, as a contraceptive? Greg, if you're planning to open your legs any wider, will you let me know? I'll just get out of the car. I was just reminded of that quote by Robert Oppenheimer. I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Overdid the crouton slightly, that'd be funny.
Overdid the crouton slightly? It's like Gandhi's funeral pyre in here.
You know Jack Holliday shot himself last week?
Yeah, it's the only thing he's ever done that made me laugh.
Oh, great, the poor man's dead.
Well, I don't suppose that will stop him overacting.
I could have come in here and found you with your throat slit.
Yeah. I think I saw one of those little sewing kits in the bathroom with just such an emergency.
Security, Jonathan, you know. How far do you take it?
No, that's fine. Enjoy being strangled and sterilised at the same time.
I swear, Jonathan, this is the real thing. Her radiant smile lights up my life like no one else I know.
What are you, a greetings card? Look, I am not traipsing all the way round to her place with this, Adam. I'm sorry. No, absolutely not.
Does it feel?
Like I've been artificially inseminated with a supermarket trolley. How are you supposed to walk in a straight line with these
I
things?
should have bought the manual, but I don't know where he keeps it. It's called a Steadicam. It's supposed to eliminate jerks.
So does Clint Eastwood. I wouldn't want him strapped to my chest for the afternoon.
Waited till she was sure he'd gone downstairs, then moved in up that little wrought iron staircase and into the bedroom. Very important, Francesca saw her with the hood and everything, so that whole thing about the burglar would work. What do you think?
I think I could be at home in the warm instead of standing here with a shoe full of stoat vomit, developing several interesting strains of nettle rash. If we're going to do it, let's just do it. Jonathan Creek.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I'm looking at the wrong number here. What am I like? I wanted creative hairstyling. You're probably in the middle of something really important. Killing an elephant or something.
Yes, thank you. I'm getting enough grief from Adam, so don't you start. She was just very old. It wasn't my fault. What was I supposed to do? Ask to see her bus pass? Check whether she puts her tuss in a glass of water at night? Anyway, how are you getting on with the human Barbie doll?
You sure it wasn't the tranquilizer dart? Maybe she's just dozing.
I don't think so, Mr. Creek. I think it was a coronary. She was 57. It could have happened any time.
A coronary? You're telling me we hired an elephant with a heart condition? I was in there the other day feeding her a tray of iced buns.
I won't lie to you, Mr. Creek. She was overweight. You know her biggest problem? She never got enough exercise. I was always telling her.
You never give it a rest, do you? I said I'd end it, and I ended it. When we were all sitting there, finally, having dinner, I told him I thought Rebecca was a lovely girl, but that one misguided act of passion on a kitchen table didn't mean we were romantically suited to each other. It all ended very amicably when her father propelled me out the front door in a waitress trolley. If it's anything like this when we get to Hyde Park, we're going to have right fun and games. Never mind crowd attendance, we're going to need a team of synchronised swimmers. All right, there's the mirror. Just want to remind myself what a gullible prat looks like.
Oh, I didn't say it defeated me.
I know exactly how your painting disappeared, Mr. Laflay. I'm just not going to tell you. Time you're moving. What, you mean potpourri? One of the biggest cons of the 20th century? People pick it up in a shop, what's the first thing they always do? Smell this one, that's sensational. Oh, I'll have some of that. Of course it is if you shove your face in it. Leathering away sometimes till 3 o'clock in the... My God, what the hell is all this?
Just a few odds and sods.
Odds and sods? It's like the relief effort to an earthquake zone. What are you planning a prison breakout?
Rang and couldn't raise you. I thought the best thing's just to let him sleep while we quietly get on with things.
Quietly get on with things? I'm standing here in the middle of the D-Day landings. What the hell is going on?
Come on. What she wants to meet you for, I shudder to... What?
Two sorts of people you never want to spend time with. Serial killers and women who spell thanks with an X. 4 hours stuck in a wigwam with a bunch of sad-acts who know more about me than I do. 2 of those guys are living in windmills. That's like one step away from Travis Bickle in Taxi Driver.
What you found?
God above, Jeff, you want to give me a heart attack? Found exactly what I expected to find.
Brilliant! What?
Nothing. There's nothing dodgy about this shed. I never thought there would be.
Just one long, endless merry-go-round, isn't it? Coming out with you in a car. Let's take a shortcut. We'll save half an hour.
Right, so the grass is a little bit more moist than I expected.
Moist? We're driving here through the great Grimpen Mine.
Where'd you keep your salt?
See that cupboard just above you? Top shelf right at the back. There's a leaflet from the hospital explaining why it's bad for your arteries.
Look at that! The S is completely snapped off.
Well, try not to use it then.
Try not to... It's the most common letter in the English language.
No, it's not. E's the most common. S is the 8th most common, after E, T, A, O, N, R and I.
Oh, you'd have to know that, wouldn't you? Useless piece of information.
Not useless at all if you're trying to crack a cipher.
What do you reckon? Get a shovel and see?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Van Helsing. Perhaps I'll wheel it round first. Does he know how witless that sounds? How is it for you, darling? I won't know until the overnights come in, but it must be okay because it appeals to a young demographic. Well, so do the Hitler Youth.
Miles we've been walking like this now, like a BBC publicity photo. You do realise my cervical vertebrae will be permanently kinked?
You're permanently kinked.
You know, there's an art to looking inconspicuous. Don't think you've quite mastered, have you? To no one's surprise, health and safety aren't too keen on the idea of us using a live python in the act, as in their view, these creatures can be rather dangerous. Well, yes, it's sort of the point. What would they suggest? You perform a death-defying escape from the coils of a very large earthworm?
I'll leave. And what can we do for you?
How about sticking your head down that pan while I flush? You don't come in here and talk to people like that. Now bugger off. God knows why we're even bothering to record the rest of this series, because that's all they care about now, isn't it? The on-air audience interface. They even blew that thing with the vanishing ink. Did you see that? Complete and utter insanity.
I asked this bloke if his name was Creek. He said yes.
Well, he'd say anything, wouldn't he, for 6 pints of Ruddles and a shepherd's pie? And that's what you imagine I look like, is it? Thank you very much. He lives in a pile of gravel by the canal.
Hic connubium Jacques Futrell a Theodora Futrell in pace semper. Suppose you can make sense of all this stuff.
Oh, why? Did you not do Latin at school? You surprised me.
Have you no respect for the dead? This is tantamount to desecration, our even being in here.
Yes, and what would you say if we opened this up and found a body?
I'd say it was pretty bloody likely.
Are you going to say this is all my fault?
Yes?
I mean, she comes in here every day. At 6, I think it is, so it's not like we'll be stuck down here forever.
Oh, just the 5.5 hours then? Imprisoned in an airless dungeon beneath half a hundredweight of tree stumps? Why we both had to come down in the first place, I'm not entirely sure.
This guy, Brad, you think may be able to help us. You don't actually know his surname, or where he comes from, or his phone number, or his address, or anything about his background, or basically anything about him at all.
Well, no, we didn't really get that far.
You only got as far as sex.
Yes, it was a very cold day.
A very cold day? All the spurious mitigation. Whatever happened to putting on a scarf? I despair of the modern generation.
Hey, don't take your bedroom frustrations out on me, just because you're off the market now.
Beg your pardon?
And the reason I didn't pursue it was when I found out she was still technically in the frame, I just thought I should fall on my sword.
Not before you'd fallen on his sword.